Justin Calder, followed by Justin Iraqi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday, Edmonton Public School Board determined that they have $18.9 million less to work with and 1,200 more students to teach. It took them a while to root out all the hidden places where this government hid their cynical, dishonest cuts to public education, but there it is. Cuts that will lay off hundreds of workers, reduce the quality of education to our schools, and hand teachers an effective 10% wage cut over 3 years. My questions are to the Premier. How can you possibly think that the quality of public education will not be affected without all of these cuts that are taking place here now?
Honourable Minister of Education.
Mr. Speaker, I don't share the honourable member's concern over the quality of education in this province. The quality of education in this province is second to none right across the world. And it's going to continue to be that way. Mr. Speaker, even with the cost restraints that we put into this budget, and there's no question this is a challenging budget for everyone in every corner of the province, and education is no exception. But thanks to this Premier, when you look at the budget line items, when you look at the different ministries, it's obvious which ministries she protected, and one of them was education.
Honourable member.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, really? Given that Edmonton Public Schools actually added up all the cuts for us and found that they had ended up holding the bag for $18.9 million. And even if we break this number out across Alberta, this government has left kids short $100 million, or $225 per kid. How can the Premier possibly think, honestly think, that this will result in anything but larger class sizes, more students being left behind, and a whole big heaping helping of broken promises right through this next school year?
Honourable Premier.
Listen to this wild conjecture with respect to the impact of education cuts, which actually didn't happen, Mr. Speaker, in this budget. What we saw in this budget was the ability to fund education more than many other departments, Mr. Speaker. We were able to come to a deal with teachers who were able, therefore, to be honest partners in education, Mr. Speaker. I understand one of the things that the school board did last night was take a look at their own administrative salaries. We think that is a wise decision, Mr. Speaker, because it's important to make sure that they do what we do, which is make sure resources in the classroom are going to students.
Honourable member.
Well, you know, Mr. Speaker, given that this Premier has been prancing around with this teachers' agreement like she's just bagged a moose for her wall, well, at least $100 million has been siphoned off school and classroom budgets. Not all the teachers are signing it, that's for sure. Why don't you drop the cuts to public education before the damage becomes irreversible?
Mr. Speaker, I'm glad the member agrees with me that the Premier did an incredible job getting a deal with the teachers. And that's just one of the many promises that she's delivering in education, including putting the $107 million back into education, including increasing funding for class sizes, increasing funding for inclusion, including passing the Education Act, and most importantly at all, for the sustainability of the system, for an example for our students, is to live within our means in Alberta.